Hello, everybody. Yes, it is a live show. Let me turn off this monitor here. Don't need to hear it. And let's see. Okay, there we are. Okay, it's a live show. Oh my gosh, I got shadows. I got lighting problems. I got all kinds of things going on here. But yes, I'm here. That was actually live flute. You heard. I figured I'd open up the show since I had the reverb set up. That I would go ahead and open up the show with the live flute. So there you go, and there's some effects in the background while I'm yammering around here. And so let me switch over to the chat so I can actually watch some action that's going on here of people saying things. And yes, yeah, that was me playing the flute. Okay, so everybody here, let's see, everybody hearing, okay. Doop. There we go. Okay, so let's just double checking on stuff here. We have the show running, and not seeing any comments yet, so let's hope that it's still streaming. I didn't turn something off. No, it still says it's streaming. And let me go ahead and look at my my emergency feed information. And it says I'm streaming. My status is good. So I have a feeling. Yes, Vivek, I was playing the flute myself. That was actually me. I figured I'd do a sneak in right there. So let me just check my feed. And it looks like, yep, it looks like it's live. Okay, great. Okay, now there's about a 40-second delay from when I say things and do things to when you'll hear it. So when you actually say stuff back to me and whatnot, I won't. Yeah, you'll type right away when you hear it, but it'll still be like forever. So. Okay, good. So we had the reverb, we have that. Let me move this thing up so we can see the, I wanted to pull this tab out and make it so it's its own thing. There we go. And bring it on over here and kind of include in the chats with the comments. So. All right, so there we go. Yeah. All right, well, that's happening. Tonight I'm going to show a whole bunch of things, and all right, it's great to see everyone's actually seeing it working. Let me switch over to my my monster hits here over here. What the? Oh, don't want to close the whole thing. There you go. Oh, stop it. I'm losing it with my mouse here today. So, yes, indeed, these are all the things that I have intended for today, except for a joke of the week, because I couldn't think of any jokes. You know, I'm a very unfunny kind of guy. I don't think of jokes very easily. So, but we got a whole bunch of stuff. We have the YouTube, might do YouTube playbook excerpt for the week. Monetization ideas of the week, maybe. Joke of the week, maybe. Definitely a replay city, a Pixlr trick or two of the week. I'm going to attempt to do an audio magic thing and show you how to sing along with yourself using Audacity. Yes, I'm going to attempt it. I didn't say I would. This may be an utter failure. I've done it before, and we'll see. Some poetry reading, as I'm hoping some people will come on board and sing along, or recite some poetry. Because that would be awesome. And an Eyes Closed segment I had planned. I still can't find the script that I was intending to use. But I may be able to hunt it down later on if I play like a short musical interlude like in an hour or so. I may still try to hunt down that script that I was going to read y'all for an Eyes Closed segment. But there's other things we could do for Eyes Closed segments. That was my initial plan. Comment tracker, I was going to go look at some comments on other things, but I don't think I'm going to have time for that. Musical interludes, I'm going to play more flute. Video tip of the week this week is going to involve some tech stuff, and perhaps I'll mention how to make a multi-camera edit automatically using the what's it called? Lightworks video editor. Had to think for a second. I had so much stuff going on with light in my head today. A sound effect of the week, a free background music of the week, a sciencey item of the week. This week's superabundance item, actually two of them. I'm going to do a philosophy segment, Into the Deep Zone. I'm going to share a mind map of the week. I made a new mind map that I made public that I'm going to share with everybody, and a cool googly thing of the week, and then some shared posts of the week that are just things that if you haven't been to my profile page, I'm just going to show off my profile page at the end and talk about what's on there and why I put it there. Okay, so let's see, where should we get started? Where should we get started? Did anybody flash on anything particular right there that made them, just stand up and go, oh, and let me turn this thing off for a sec. Anyone see anything that made them stand up and pay attention and say, oh, that's exactly what I want to see, Terry. I want to see that kind of stuff. So, all right, well, it still says it's looking good. Oh, looking good even in Belize. All right. Okay, we won't have any asteroids hitting in northern Belize today. We have a show to go on here. So I'm not going to let anything get in the way. All right, well, what I thought I'd start out with is, since I did go ahead and tease you with some music stuff, I'm going to go ahead and flip on the reverb, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a performance where you can see me playing, okay? Because I did kind of do a tease there, and that's really not fair. And so, so I'm going to make one. We'll pick up the flute and we'll play one short piece. All right, how's that sound? So let's go. Let's do that. More effects. Let me just turn on the reverb switch. Let's see. And yes, indeed. And I'll show how this is done later on. Yes, I can. Okay. Flip off the switch. Okay, I know you'd like to hear the whole show with me talking in reverb land. It is pretty, isn't it? And I'll try some different reverbs too. That was the one they call it the cement theater or something like that. But that's not the one we're going to lean on all the time, so don't worry about a thing. Okay, so yes, I'm the only one on screen, and I need to get my mind map colorful. I get it. I know. It's almost monochrome. At least I did make some things, not much, but yeah, I could make it so much better. Right now, all I did was make this text red, okay, and didn't do anything else really. The cool thing about this, though, you can select a whole bunch, and then like make them be Bubbleville, for instance. Suddenly they're a little more colorful, and give them a background color like that, and then you got, a little more color. But you can do it pretty fast in this program. I know you want red. Everyone wants red, don't you? Don't you? I can tell. And probably don't need that huge font when it's this red background. Right? There you go. All right, well, let's stop playing around with that. All right, well, I really I hope some people are going to come on and do a little bit of talking. I'm going to try to keep the music track. Let me split things up a little bit here. I'm going to have to shrink this down a bit so I can see other screens. I'm doing a whole lot more on just one big screen this time. So I'm going to shrink things up a little bit. Get that out of there. And here we are. All right. I'd like to just start out with the poem of the week. Okay? The poem of the week, poetry reading, is a little thing called Wrong Way. And you probably want me to, you probably wish I was standing up for this, but I'm going to have to be sitting down. So here we go. This is Wrong Way. I'm going to read it, and it's out here on this website. Let me go out here and get it. And it's a very short poem. It's from my book that I wrote many years ago. So this is like childhood stuff for me, okay? My childhood coming out. And here goes. This is the opening poem for a book called The Willet Papers that I wrote, which I will read some of later, one chapter a week perhaps. Because, back in the days when a Kretna was a Kretna, unless you changed it, and that wasn't very often. And the prefatory poem begins. It goes like this. I have to have some blue juice here. Don't read it in advance. He said, "Are you well?" with a pink in his eye. She said, "Yes, is there cause for concern?" He said, "No, it's just I'm confused now, you see, and thought it might happen to learn." "Learn what?" she exclaimed in significant tones while holding her toe high as dew. "I simply was wondering if it was me, or possibly if it was you." That's your poem. Okay, so sorry about that. That's the poem. I have a longer poem. I'm going to read a longer poem. That's just the warm-up. So if you get all excited, now you want to hear the rest of the story. Okay? Yes, because I have another poem I'm going to read called Adventure Story later on. Don't worry. That'll be happening too. Now today, though, I do want to get a little bit of tech in here. And one of the things that I've been talking a lot of people about Pixlr. And so I'd like to run right to the Pixlr editor trick of the week, the Pixlr trick of the week. Okay? I actually have a few, but the big one I want to discuss is opening an image into a layer. And if you haven't done that, then it's really, really, really cool. And so Andrew says he likes that poem. Thank you. By the way, I have the comment tracker going on over at the comment tracker. There's a YouTube, when you're doing a live event, and if you're watching on YouTube, apparently now there's a chat screen. And Mark Barris has made some comments on that thing. But I got a little teeny laptop over here that has the YouTube page, so I'll be able to see if anybody makes a comment in there, and I'll be able to answer. But otherwise, I have the comment stream happening right in front of me. Okay, so this week's Pixlr trick of the week is basically just opening a image into a layer. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Pixlr. We'll start out at Pixlr Templates, which is the site I put together, if you don't know about it, that has all the different sizes of all the different social media banners and images and all this stuff. And I have some tutorial videos on there for how to use it. And I just created a table of contents so that you can now go to a particular page and see one thing, any of these things you need to do. You need to do a Facebook thing or Twitter thing or YouTube live events or YouTube or Google Plus. you can do that. Okay, so um, we'll start out with say a YouTube. So we'll go down here to the YouTube things, YouTube image formats, and make like we're going to make a heck with that YouTube. We'll do a Google Plus video thumbnail image template for scheduled hangouts on air, so that you can make your own event header for scheduled hangouts on air. This is for the thumbnail. So it's opening up, but the only thing I really want you to see, that I'm trying to get across, is it's taking its time opening up. What's going on here? I have to reload this page. Oh, I wonder if I picked the only one that's broken. Yeah, let me try something else. Oh, well, lo and behold, it's not loading Pixlr for me today. It just did a few minutes ago, too. Well, wow. Yeah. How totally strange. Let's just try to go to Pixlr.com. No, it's not loading. I wonder why. Now that's eerie. I was just using it earlier today. Well, it looks like a Pixlr segment's going to have to wait because Pixlr seems to be broken for some reason. All right, well, I could open it on a different computer. That is, open it Firefox or something. Let's see if I can find Firefox. Oh, okay. We can get rid of that for now. And where did my Firefox go? All right, let's see if we can get this happening. All right, it's working here. So we're going to just create a new image from scratch. 800 by 600 is fine. We'll call it anything. And the main thing I want you to see is that we already have an image and it has a background layer, and that background layer happens to be white at the moment. I could have made the background layer transparent, but you also just cannot worry about the background layer because you can always hit this little lock thing and pretty much just throw the layer away. Gee, I wonder if I installed Zoom It. No, I didn't. Sorry, folks, you're going to have to be stuck with seeing it small. So let me go to full screen, just the lower monitor. And maybe I can go ahead and log in and get rid of this side thing. All right. I noticed that full screen mode and Chrome really hate each other. Reset palette location. That pushes the palettes over to the right. All right, so we have this layers palette here, and this is particularly what we're talking about. And it's got this background layer here, and you can unlock it by double-clicking that, and now it becomes a disposable layer that you can get rid of. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the layers palette and open images layer and open up something, whatever I can find easy in my pictures, and just dump it into this thing. So here's pictures. I have no idea. Huh, I'm on the wrong page. 1 sec. To get to my D drive. I can't see anything in here. Oh no, it should be on here. Okay. Well, I thought I had something all set up. I guess I don't. I'll open it from I'll open layer from library, because you can also open an image URL or open library as layer. So we'll go into my first folder, and I'll go down here and I'll get this one here, this text fading into oblivion. I'm going to show you how to do this, by the way. So here's some text fading into oblivion. I'm going to go immediately to edit, free transform, and you see how it shows the edges. So I can grab the corners and I can hold the shift key down and change its size. Oops. And move it around. Now once you change the size, if you change your mind and you want it bigger or smaller, or you've cropped off some of the edge, that is after you've hit enter, you got to redo it. Just throw the layer away and do it again, because it kind of applies whatever the settings were once you've done that. So yes, this is the text that's fading into oblivion, and you might go, well, gee, that's kind of cool effect. I didn't know anyone could do that with Pixlr. But the first thing is to get that we loaded in an image as a layer. Okay, so let's imagine we went over to Commons Flickr Commons and picked up on some of their images. So let's go ahead and we'll search for bottles. I don't know. Okay, so hopefully we're in Creative Commons still here. Oh no, we don't want any license. We want Creative Commons only. There we go. All right, so we have some bottles that we can use, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it's a pretty big picture, and you'll notice that in Commons you can't just get the grab the URL for the image. It's a little trickier than that, and it might be that I have to be logged in for this to work. Actually, I didn't think so. Share page, view Saris. Where the heck is it? Well, they changed the interface on me overnight. What do you know? This is great. Maybe I can't get anything without signing in. Sorry about that. All right. Now let's see what we got. Gee, all I wanted to do was show you a simple thing, too. Let's view the page info and see if I can get the darn link here. Not easy. Well, they sure do make it hard to get links around here. I want that. I want that. I want that. That. There it is. Okay, so there's the image. Let me see if I can copy that and use it in Pixlr. We'll see. So I'm going to do layer, open URL as layer, paste that huge thing in there and see if it takes. It did! Alright, so that's how I did it. In case you want to review on how I did that, instead of going with the I know that there's a way to get the link to this thing, but instead I went to view page info. I went to media up top here. Okay, media, and I went down until I found a preview that showed down here of the image that I wanted. And you see this is the thumbnail, so it's all fuzzy. I got to the real one and I saw this 1024 by 540 pics, so that's the one I want. See, I got a ton of thumbnails and smaller versions. A whole bunch of things load on this page. It's unreal how much stuff loads on this page. Oh, there's a completely different picture. That's a picture that's queued up to look at probably next. But so that's how that's done. Okay, that's how I got that picture in there. So I went and got the there it is. Got that, Once I got that location, I copied it right like that, right clicked and said copy, and then that's what I pasted in to layer, open image URL as layer, and pasted that in there. Okay, and that's loaded in. So now you see it's here as a layer, and I haven't resized it yet, and since I haven't touched it yet, I can still do that. Free transform, and it shows me the full size. I just go ahead and grab the corners, hold my shift key down, and I can resize it to fit this window. Got it? Okay, so that's your nifty Pixlr lesson for the minute, and later on I'll show you how to get the awesome text that fades into oblivion. Okay? Yes, I will. I promise I will. So, for now, let's go back to the to this thing, and okay, yeah, I have a monitor up here, so you'll see me keep going into this dreamy, looking up in the air type of a look, but I'm actually looking at the monitor right above the camera. So I know it looks like I'm thinking deep thoughts, and I am. I'm thinking, what am I going to do next? So, all right, so let's see some comments, and see if I can find the comment stream. It's another thing, when you have two monitors, you start getting totally confused as to what page you're on, and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Now, it might be because I'm running so darn much on this computer right now, because I've got the streaming status thing going on, and I've got the, oh, I've got a bunch of stuff going on. And the comment track, the comment view. So let's see what all's been coming in here. What are people saying? Oh, okay. Yes, make a patter song and a Gilbert Sullivan type. You think that's something? Where do you hear adventure story? Oh yes, I'm open to questions that might lead me off tangent. You bet. Oh, OBS and voice meter? Huh? Why? What? I don't know what you're saying. The question is why. Well, it's a good question. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying. Short answer is more more options, more control, I'll say. There's no way. All right, with voice meter, without voice meter, there's no way I could have employed the plugin that I did to get the reverb, for instance. Okay, the Hangout interface is actually not complex in a live event. In fact, there is no Hangout interface in a live event. My entire interface actually is OBS, and voice meter is just my mixing board. And because I have several inputs, if I didn't have a virtual mixing board, I'd have a physical one alongside me, and it would be just as distracting or more so, because I'd have wires to worry about and loose connections and things like that. This is a lot easier, and I can save my setups, I can save my connections. So once I've made a bunch of connections, I save that setup and I can load it in anytime. And so it takes a lot of stress off of the pre-show stuff, which is really huge. And again, live stream doesn't have any HOA type setup stuff. This is not an HOA. This is a YouTube live stream that you're watching. I'm going to be, if someone wants to come in and be part of it, part of the show, I'm all ready to contact them as part of an HVC, where I'll just, put you in an HVC and call you as a chat, and then we'll connect as video. And we already have it set up where the video can come into the show, and you'll be able to hear me, and I'll be able to hear you, even though the HVC is actually on a second computer. In fact, all the content you've been seeing so far, anything you've been seeing in this little window over here, I'll look in the right direction, window over there, all that's actually on a external computer, a second computer, and that's more like right in front of me. And then my controlling computer that just has OBS on it and allows me to switch scenes, that's on the upper monitor on the primary computer that does the encoding and sends the signal out to YouTube. The main thing to understand about this kind of a setup is that once you've got it set up, you don't have to change anything. Your studio is set up from then on, and you can just go through, do minor changes. Probably the most confusing thing about it is having two keyboards on your table. But since mine have touchpads built in, I use these Logitech wireless ones, and they have touchpad, no mouse. So that keeps a lot of the confusion out because I'm not reaching for the wrong mouse all the time. And I have two of them. It's the what do they call it? The K400. And yeah, K400R. And they're like Walmart for $24. You can't beat it. But yeah, so yeah, just forget Hangout interface. We're not even in a Hangout interface. This isn't the Hangout interface at all. And another reason why I'm going live streaming and using OBS is because for producing courseware down the road, what I would like to eventually develop more templates like what you're seeing here with different types of setups for a teacher to be able to have their picture-in-picture with screen shares and be able to switch scenes. And plus for my own production of video, it just was a lot easier for me to be actually talking to people that I'm actually connecting with and record. So I'm going to be doing some class stuff where I invite people in to get a free class from me. I record it and it becomes my Udemy class. Okay, so that's another reason why I go through this much bother. There's some things that are a little more difficult that I would probably stick with HOAs for just ease of just connecting. But again, I have my setup. It's done now, and I can show anybody how to do it. But it's definitely a step-by-step process, and you don't want to jump into the whole 9 yards overnight. But to me, this is a lot easier than anything. 'Cause I hardly have any controls to do. All right, so I hope that answered your question somewhat, Vivek. And let's see. Oh, to fall in love with Pixlr. Yes, indeed. By the way, don't forget, with Pixlr too, it's another thing where you start out simple. Start out super simple. And build up. Just get a file open and try out the tools and poke around and don't try to do anything that's important yet. What I would like to do with my future Pixlr tutorials is do the tutorial and then put out a PDF that accompanies it that has a step-by-step checklist, because I know that would help a lot of people. That sure helps me to have a step-by-step checklist with actual little squares on it that I can check off. I mean, that just is so helpful, I mean, yeah, you can go through the video and keep hitting pause, but when you have it also written down next to you, and you just watch the thing, and now you got the checklist, and you go down and see the physical checklist, you can print it out, and that's just a lot easier. So that's in my future, folks. You're going to see checklists in my future. Okay. All right. So what should we do now? Let's see. Let's open up the magic. The magic thing here. I'll go back to full screen. And I'm glad you can all read it because it shows up backwards in my thing. No, it doesn't. It's fine. Some things are showing up backwards. Oh, my camera. That's right. Okay, Star Trek. There we go. Let's do the Star Trek close-up. Now, all right, if I were really insane, I would next show you something that would really scare everybody, and that would be the audio magic section. Okay? The audio magic section is covering a use of Audacity that lets you record multi-track. But we'll move on. We'll do that later. We'll do that later. I'm chickening out already. And we're going to come back to another Pixlr thing, by the way, in a few minutes. But you know what? A lot of people, I know what a lot of you really want. You want me to read a story, don't you? That's what you really want. You want a storytelling, you want a story. I can tell. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to read us a story. So let's go over here. As you heard, the Willet Papers was something that I wrote long ago. We'll stay at full screen here because that seemed to be working okay. And well, I don't know if I should be letting you look at the words at the same time I'm reading it. I think I'm going to just run some crazy background stuff again, and maybe read the thing. Nah, I'll let you see it. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to read you chapter 1, which is called "A Lot of Nothing." Okay. So let me get the get it up here where it's not just the star tech, because I know you're going to want to see me in this thing, and so I got cropped screen. Here we go. Move this over here so that you can see it, and I got to be able to see it too. All right, and let's go to "A Lot of Nothing." All right. A lot of nothing. Well, hey, come on, let's make this look a little nicer here. Good grief. All right, there we are. And make it a little larger. Everyone wants to see it. Okay. Well, at that he turned to me and asked, "How many bangles in a twiddle-twaddle tree?" 17 as the crow flies, I answered, remembering my days in the puddle school of everything. Satisfied with my answer, he took me by the dauble of my jacket and led me to a huge nothing vat, which as usual was full of nothing. "Do you know what this is?" he asked me with a petulant wave of his hand. "Yes," I said, feeling proud to have had the experience, trivial as it might be. "Do you know what it's for?" He looked at me seriously. He had me there, for I hadn't the slightest idea. "It's for nothing, of course," he exclaimed, "and it's good for nothing." He glared at me with flaring nostrils. I felt utterly ridiculous. Where did you get all that nothing?" I asked. "Oh, from nowhere in particular, but it seems that is the most nothing we can have, for even if we add 2 or 3 times as much, we still end up with the same amount of nothing." "Well, can't you add something to the nothing to make the nothing multiply?" I queried. "Well, we've tried adding other things, but no matter what we add, it always turns out to be something else being multiplied instead." But now he had me quite confused, so I tried to change the subject. Have you changed the coliform in the ballast kettle yet?" I asked him while he caught his breath. No, glad you reminded me. It seems you do have something in that vacuum between your ears." I could not understand what he meant by a vacuum being between my ears, not being able to picture a vacuum with something in it. All logic told me that it would no longer be a vacuum. I was about to ask him about this point when suddenly he leaped into the air onto a fruital bush. He appeared to be in great despair. "Why, oh why are we so limited?" he asked. "Limited how?" I answered, willing to be of assistance. "In climbing. Why are we limited to climbing either up or down, and not allowed to climb in any other way?" He started to cry. I wanted to do something, but I wasn't sure what I could do. "Come on down from there," I said. He was blubbering like a child. He jumped down. "I want to go for a short walk," he told me, still wiping his eyes. "All right, I'm just glad you don't like tall walks, or we might never get it back." "Don't worry," he said. "I'll bring along a crowbar." And so we were both off for a walk, and soon disappeared in a crumple of toad willows. Oh yes, and that is chapter 1 of the Willet Papers. So come back next week, boys and girls, and you'll hear chapter 2 of the Willet Papers recited to you. And it's even longer than chapter 1. Oh, I shouldn't have probably given you that fair warning. Okay, so. All right, I know. So that's the that's that segment. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to the free background music of the week. This is what I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear the free background music of the week, frankly. And they're in my favorites. It's in my favorites. And it's called Nevada City. And it's by Humma Humma. And I hope you can hear this coming through. Oh yeah, you can hear it coming through. Ah, it's so pretty. Let me get up this my voice meter over here and just turn it down just a smidgen. There we go. Now, when you're doing background music, it's good to go like -10 or so. That usually is adequate to have it be in the background enough that you know, people can hear what's going on and whatnot. But yes, Nevada City is one of the in the ambient collection. As you know, you have different moods and genres, and this is in the ambient genre, so as a calm piece as far as mood is concerned. So you can find it quickly that way, or you can search music in here and find Nevada City. And if you find that you like it too, after you're being signed in, of course, click on the little star here, and you can make it as part of your favorites, or you can download it so you can play it with your favorite media player. Okay? So that's that little portion of the show, at least. Oh yeah, that's so beautiful. Oh, golly. I just love it to death. It makes me calm. All right, but we may as well move right on to the sound effect of the week, as long as we're doing things like that. The sound effect of the week just happens to be the ringing ambient background. And the reason why it's the favorite of the week is because you can make incredible, talk and ideas and speech and even more. Well, let's just see something. I'm going to go to a medium room. Are we safe? Do you think that door is safe to open? I'm not sure myself, but sometimes it makes me reconsider doing anything that you would ask me to do, seeing as you brought me here to begin with. Okay, wait a minute. Stop it. Stop. I can't be carrying on like this. I mean, you'll have me in silly land. Hey, can you hand me that wrench though for a second? I want to get this thing fixed up before the asteroid hits us. You think we can do that?
Just wait a second. I got other things to do.
What do you mean you got other things to do? We got to get out of here. There's an asteroid coming.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Hey, stop it. Stop talking like that. We're on live TV. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so let me just stop that kind of thing. But now you see, this is what kind of thing I will feature, is a ringing ambient background. This is a sound effect. Yes, sound effect of the week. And I suppose I could play music at the same time. So maybe I will someday. But there you have it. Okay, so yes, it doesn't get any better than that, folks. I mean, any worse than that. So, anyway, I'm glad everybody liked my poem, how the old man got in about nothing. Remember to come back next week when we talk about chapter 2. All right, so let's move on and find out what we're going to do next. Oh yes, the news. I wanted to show the news. I wanted to show the sciencey item of the week. And that would definitely be this video here called "Can Cells Live Forever?" And this will be in the description later on. But this is quite a controversial subject. I mean, can cells live forever? And this is Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn. She is not talking some kind of new age talk or, herbal supplements thing going on here. She's a Nobel Prize winner and being interviewed by the editor-in-chief of Scientific American on this subject, okay? And they're serious that, yes, it just might be possible. In fact, there are cells that have been kept alive for a long long time. In fact, they've been using the same source for the same source for T cells for ages, for years, because it was made illegal to create any new sources. They've been using the same source for T cell research. So anyway, yes, indeed. So you're going to have an interesting video in this thing, watching Elizabeth Blackburn being interviewed by Mariette de Castrina, the editor-in-chief of Scientific American. So that's my sciencey item of the week, and I know you're going to love that. It's a very, very interesting subject. Okay, let's go right down this list. I'm not probably going to go to any 8:30 tonight, okay? But I am going to do another musical interlude or two. But I want to focus on a couple of superabundance items. Okay, I got a Peter Diamandis thing. He's talking about an interesting topic. But also the seeming magic of the working premise. This is a video that I did last year. And it's...
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. So, you can go back and watch this thing. It's a 20-minute video. We're not going to watch this tonight. What I wanted to do, though, I did want to tell you some of the background of the making of this video, and talk about working premises. It is a powerful idea. It's basically holding a concept in your mind as if it was true, without having any attachment to it being true. Okay, it doesn't have to be true. Let's see if I can make this work. What if that works? Here we go. So, this, by the way, is the really cool little toy called Clearly that's made by Evernote. So if you're ever over on the Evernote webpage, look for Clearly, and it lets you convert anything, even a YouTube description page, so that you can read it in a nice font with nice typography, right? But Robert Fritz immediately told me about this, and I just posted on my in my profile a video that he did in March talking about his book, The Path of Least Resistance. Now, I've known of Robert Fritz since the 70s. I actually wound up being a student of his, directly and indirectly, taking course materials from many teachers that he helped nurture into being in New York City, and he also taught in Boston, all over the place. There were just all kinds of classes he was teaching called DMA back in those days. And I started like 1981 with that. It's what brought me into New York City again, in fact. And the idea is to formulate a working premise and you act on it as if it is so. Now, you're basically throwing out the ideal of having to be actually right about stuff, getting rid of the perfection thing, and going ahead and saying, I'm going to act as if it is so that, for instance, that thing, the secret where you have something in your head, that's sort of throwing out, it's doing a working premise that the concepts of, say, quantum mechanics are so that everything is connected and the universe is providing for you in some kind of a magical way. Now, I do not believe that is so. Don't even get me started talking about how the abuses of quantum mechanics and scientific terminology are bandied about in that world. But the idea of using it as a working premise is perfectly valid, because it doesn't have to be so. It doesn't have to be exactly so. A famous example is an Olympic swimmer who explained that the way he kept winning in the races was that he imagined his hands were larger. He visualized his hands were larger when he was swimming, and that made him swim faster. He knew his hands didn't get larger. He didn't even accept totally, as a rational being, that imagining your hands getting larger necessarily would have any effect. But the working premise of thinking that thinking one's hands are larger would make him swim faster, that was the working premise. And by taking that on and letting it be, it's almost like something like a psychotic episode. It's letting it be the worldview you accept, the idea you accept, makes it so to speak. Okay, it makes it so that that would work, and his energy and everything, and his flow of energy, and his how efficiently his hands were scooping the water and everything, by imagining they were larger. Just imagining they're larger. Oh, like that. And that would make him swim faster. Okay? So you can watch that show that I do. I'll put that in the show notes, a link to that. And check out Robert Fritz's book, The Path of Least Resistance. I'll put a link to that too. But I also wanted to read this passage, which I didn't actually read. I think I read it in the show. But it's this really, really cool quote. It's from W.H. Murray during the Scottish Himalayan expedition. And he made this great statement once. He said, "Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then Providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that never otherwise would have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance, which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. I have learned a deep respect for one of Goethe's couplets. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it." So thank you, Mr. Murray. It's a fantastic, fantastic sentiment. And it describes a working premise concerning all acts of initiative and creation. Commit. You have to definitely commit oneself to your working premise being a good one, a good working premise that you will commit to and believe in, and then amazing things happen. Now, in the video, I talk about how this actually is part of attention, and how we're giving better instructions to our subconscious and to our right brain, the right hemisphere of the brain, so that it notices things it was just completely missing before. It notices opportunities and events and details that simply were flying by before because it wasn't prepared. It's like they say serendipity favors a prepared mind, just sort of a requote of something Louis Pasteur had said. But it's true. Once the brain has been prepared by commitment, by a strong visualization of what one wants to, and that's of what one wants, not what one's ideal that they expect they are supposed to do, but what one actually wants, the result one wants. Then creativity kicks in. The right brain, the right hemisphere of the brain is so vast and so capable that all this stuff starts happening, and it's as if by magic. It's seemingly magic, but it's really just your brain finally being given the opportunity to really do the work that it's capable of doing, and not getting into narrowly sticking with just what the left hemisphere can do, and letting that right hemisphere kick in and also be part of the show, part of the game. So anyway, that's my rant. I hope you think that's cool. Pass it along. These are all parts of the show that should be chopped up and turned into other things. Okay, and as long as we're on the abundance topic, let's look at what Peter Diamandis has shared with us. He's talking about the rising billions. Oops, get out of here. I've already signed up for your newsletter. This is a great newsletter to be signed up for, by the way. If you go to this and the little thing pops up to sign up for his newsletter, go ahead, sign up for it. Peter Diamandis wrote the book Abundance, okay? It's the title of the book, it's Abundance. Way after I, started my abundance shows, and in fact, I actually started with abundance programming back in the 80s when I was knowing Robert Fritz. I had the Abundance Project back then. And but now we're finally I'm finally getting to talk about it every day almost. But his idea about this rising billions, he is talking about this dramatic positive change that's happening in the global economy. And what's going on? 3 to 5 billion new consumers who have never purchased anything, never uploaded anything, and never invented and sold anything. They're about to come online and provide a mega surge to the global economy. And no one's talking about it, is basically what he's saying. Africa, China, India, developing world. And they're not coming online with Commodore 64s, and old modems like we did, or I did anyway. They're coming on with the full-blown cellular connections, connected to Amazon, connected to Google, connected to the cloud, all this stuff. And so we're going to see this massive upsurge over the next several years in Internet's users. This is what's already happened, okay? This is what's already happened from 2010, 1.8 billion to 2.8 billion connected. Okay, whoops, 5 years. So the projection is that 4 billion people don't have access to the internet, but by 2020, most likely the whole world will be connected. And the reason why it's easy to say that is because you have a lot of big players working to make this actually happen by bringing internet connectivity to all of these hard to reach areas where you're not going to be running cable, okay? It's not going to be cable modems. It's not going to be DSL. It's going to be satellite based. It's going to be kind of like a super Wi-Fi. Facebook's working on a thing that's going to use that new glider that runs on solar energy. They're working on bringing it that way. SpaceX is a project going on. That's the Constellation project. So that'll be about 700 small satellites. Now, believe it or not, these low orbiting satellites was a project that was started in the 80s by my former roommate, Johnny Winchester, was very involved with that whole project when I lived in Tribeca in New York. And it was like, talking to the UN and talking to these things. And of course, it's the 80s. Everyone was talking about, music services like Pandora and Rhapsody and Spotify and stuff back then too. But I mean, getting through all the contracts and all the politics and everything was like, forget about it back then. But those same people and people that were inspired by them eventually made all these things happen. Same way, eventually worldwide internet is going to be a reality, okay? And it was started in the 80s. It will be a reality now. Hydroponic gardening was started on Staten Island by a bunch of crazy people back then too. All right, Google's got a Project Loon. They're actually these balloon things that go around, and they have the internet going to be delivering it using the stratosphere and all these different layers of wind. Okay, Virgin Airlines is the people who do it. Virgin Airlines, they're doing the OneWeb satellite network with 650 satellites. Okay, offering low orbiting satellites again. And so we're talking about a future that's pretty amazing in just a few years. We're talking 2020. That's, that's 5 years from now. I'll barely even look older. Well, okay. I'll look just a little older by 2020. And, I haven't actually talked with anybody about facials or anything like that. So I might. But nonetheless, still only 5 years, and then that you're going to have some amazing stuff going on. And so it's the basic thing. The message he's getting across is, hey, look, this is coming up. Go ahead and get ready for it. You're going to love it. And there's all kinds of things we can do. Connectivity worldwide, and Google Plus will be even more super duper. Okay, so there you go. That's the two abundance things for this week. So I hope that's kind of exciting for people to consider. All right. And oh yeah, I'm glad I started earlier, Sheila Strover. So, well, I'm looking through some of these things. Oh, everyone is, scary ambient background. Yeah. Okay. Oh, another thing nice, by the way, Vivek, about live streaming is the audio is unbelievable. It's 128 MPS all the time. It's unlike studio mode, you don't worry about the overloads as much. The HOA audio interface, the maximum, your 0 point has got to be like minus 12 decibels in studio mode, or it distorts and it's shrill sounding. You got to turn down things. So, okay, so, yep, and commitment, yes, indeed. So, and yes, by 2020, some true neural implants are supposed to be available already. Okay, so get ready, get ready. Save up your pennies. All right, now do I have anything for In the Deep Zone? Oh yes, I mentioned Robert Fritz, and he has a new website, so go over there and celebrate it. RobertFritz.com. He's just set up with a WordPress site that's much nicer. It's clean. It has a lot of his videos on it. That's where I just happened to be cruising it today, and that's how I found out about the video that he just shared, where he gives a summarization, kind of encapsulation of that book, Path of Least Resistance. And that is just a great book. It really, really explains structural tension and how we get into patterns, how we let ideals be a bugaboo for us, and we're driven by ideals instead of by what we want to create. When you get into creativity, all these oscillatings of getting close to what you wanted and then being pulled back disappear. Because believe it or not, we all have self-talk that's going on. Nobody can get rid of it. That telling us that we shouldn't be a success, telling we should, we should just be happy where we are. That and it's harder for a rich man to get through to heaven than for a camel to go through an eye of a needle and all that stuff. Which actually, I heard from a rabbi that the camel, in reference, is actually a hunk of rope. The camel is what they call a hunk of rope, and for the camel to get through an eye of a needle, you got to unravel the entire hunk of rope into its individual strands and pass each strand through. So it's really talking about self-examination. It's not an impossible thing of a camel going through an actual eye of a needle, and it's not that thing you often hear people saying that this doorway at some ancient building was called the Eye of the Needle. It's not reference to that either. He was quite definite that it's all about a hunk of rope being unraveled and passed through an eye of a needle, being a metaphor for self-examination. So it's not bad to get rich. Just going to have to maybe do some self-examination to stay on the straight and narrow and not fall off the bridge. That's all. Anyway, since we all have this kind of self-talk going on, it pulls us back. The closer we get, this thing called structural tension occurs, where what we were or what our mind or subconscious is telling we should be doing, don't be a success, don't be a rich man or whatever. That's not going to go away. And you can't change your beliefs. That's impossible. You're always going to have these things going on. And it was a subject of his newsletter this week. In fact, if you go to his Facebook page, Robert Fritz on Facebook, he actually has a great article on the ideals thing. But as you get closer to your actual goal, if you've got these beliefs and you don't realize that you're stuck in this kind of pattern, you're going to be sucked back towards the old goal, because it's like having a rubber band, and as more you stretch towards the direction you want to go, the more the tension on the other rubber band is pulling back. So and the more you stretch, the more the tension is to pull it back. Okay? Whereas if you make a choice, and make a conscious choice based on creativity and based on what you want, then you just keep reiterating the choices, and you get to where you want without the stress. It's not a matter of ideals or self-talk and all that kind of stuff. So that book, Path of Least Resistance, that's pretty much what it's covering, is the techniques and technology for doing that kind of thing and having fun and keeping out of stress land. So, okay, so there's your Into the Deep philosophy bit. Okay, so before we do the shared mind map of the week, I thought I would do another musical interlude. And that's what I thought. Oh, and then I did it, because I chose to do it. Yes, indeed. So I'm going to take a little sip of blue juice here. I'm going to switch to a completely different reverb effect. Oh, I know, I live dangerously. Oh my gosh, Long Canyon. What could that possibly be? All right, we'll try this. I'm going to pump up the mix, though. Let me just hear a little bit of... Oh, yeah. Well, it might be too big. Okay, here goes. All right, hope that wasn't too much reverb. With a lot of reverb. Woo! Boy, can I reverberate. Okay, well, so as I was saying, I have a shared mind map I wanted to share. It's a MindMeister mind map that I made quite a while ago. And you hear a lot of talk about the social media uses by small businesses. Okay? And it's amazing how many small businesses have resisted social media until like this year, it seems. Now all of a sudden everybody's jumping on the bandwagon and they're realizing, oh my gosh, it was important. And they used to be doing the push thing of really just using social media as kind of another place to put billboards, you know, advertising, display ads, stuff like that. But now they're realizing the interactivity thing is super key, and they're sort of scrambling to try to figure out how to do it. Well, I was asked, I'm a volunteer with SCORE, which is a volunteer arm of the Small Business Association of, you know, the U.S. Small Business Association. And I was asked to write the chapter on social media uses for their little blue book that they have at our particular SCORE chapter, where we put together every 10 years or so a little blue book on sort of a how to start your own business thing. Has been assembled by the people that are in, you know, on the board and volunteers at this particular SCORE chapter out in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, that I'm participating with. So I wrote this mind map first to get my thoughts together. And I cover the basic uses, I cover keeping things under control, turning customers into raving fans, and being totally findable. Okay, so I'll have a link in the show notes, or you can write down quick if you want to see. Here, I can paste it right into the thing here. Here's that mind map. That mind map. Of course, I've tried pasting it in before you even hear about it because of the 40-second delay. So there's the link to that mind map that I'm talking about. And on the mind map page, it's a public mind map. But you'll also see over here on the left, here's the article form that actually went into the blue book. So you can click on that, and it's a Google Doc. So you can read it and download it and all that kind of good stuff. All right, so social media uses by small businesses. So I think you'll find that thing kind of cool. It's quick, it's short, it's useful. You can hand this, you know, you could summarize it. You could hand that chapter to a customer. You could show them the mind map. It is public. You can share this link. Anybody can see this. All right. So I hope that's helpful. Give me some feedback if it's helpful. If there's things that should be added to it. It's totally a flexible document and can be added to. And my main interest is in having it be as good as it possibly can to help people get started and continue and get into a flow and set up good habits and stuff like that. And especially to develop good relationships and really have something meaningful going on. You know, I really love the way there's this new corporate culture growing where even in corporations, an emphasis on meaningful relationships is becoming important. And that's just so cool because it's not just about bottom line anymore. Everybody's finally getting it that bottom line is served by real relationships. How amazing, you know. Oh, well, anyhow. Okay, so... all right, is there a cool googly thing of the week? I don't know, I think so. Oh, yes. Learning physics online, the Google G+ community. Yeah, as long as we did the sciencey thing, I should have touched that right away. There's a nice little community. It's called Learning Physics Online. Okay? And we have all kinds of science articles going on. It was started by Sagra Tefa Bagheri. I think I didn't just destroy your name. I think it was pretty much correct. And so she got it started, and and there's all kind. And look, Scott, you just posted today signs of contact. So it's got science stuff, mostly physics. A good article on engineering the body. This was also in that science thing, the same science fair, Google Science Fair series that you saw the thing on whether cells can live forever. The previous one was this Kit Parker interview where he's talking about engineering sort of miniature versions of different organs and stuff so he can really get a handle on how they work and find ways to make artificial organs, replacement limbs, all kinds of stuff like that. So, but yeah, non-stop thrills and chills in here. If you like science stuff at all, you're going to find some cool sciencey things, okay? So there you have that. And but just for the rest of you that really just did nothing but squirm in science class, I thought I'd bring up the Plus editor. I haven't seen anybody actually talk about the Plus editor in quite a while. And as you know, Google Plus posts, most people by now know how to get a bold and a italic out of the darn thing. But this Google Plus editor, and I'll put that in the, pasting that in here now too. The Plus editor lets you edit your post and get it all ready to go. There it is. Here's the editor. And actually it looks a little twisted and warped out right now. Let's see if I have to make it a little bit bigger. Yes. Okay, here it is. Plus editor's up here. And so you have this is what you do, and the result shows up down here. And this is what you actually copy and paste into your Google Plus is down below. Oh, I'm showing you the wrong page. 1 second. I'm not looking at my... there we are. So as you see, the Google Plus editor lets you do the bold, the italic, the strikeout, but also insert link. Now, how many times if you wanted to insert a link and have it be, you know, actually have a word involved where you've got a word there like word, okay, and you want to insert a link into the Plus editor for Word, and so now you've got a link that actually looks like a link. Isn't that great? And this is the only way I know that you can actually do this to make it happen. It also has a whole list of symbols, hearts, you know, greater than, less than, musical instruments, you know, notes, trademark, registered, copyright, yeah, paragraph mark, you name it, euro, half, quarter, 3/4. So you can put in symbols and have those. In fact, you can even make them part of your link. Okay, and so you have all the symbols available too. And then, of course, this thing just removes the formatting. So if you have formatting already it takes it out. Okay, so there you have it. The Plus editor. What a monster. It's just so great. And so just pay attention to these download things in case you need it. And so that's your editor. Okay. And then then you just simply do that copy after hitting convert. You copy that and you paste it into your Google thing. Okay. So let's see if it works in a. I wonder if it works in a comment stream. Let's take a look. Doesn't look it. Looks like I might have done that wrong. Let's try it. We'll see what happens. It might not work in there. It might only work in actual posts. Nah, it didn't work there. Okay, I'll just delete that. Okay, so what else are we going to talk about today? What else can we talk about today? But yeah, I love the fact that you can add the link. It's really cool. Really cool. And yeah, look at me. It does work for the musical notes though. And you know, I might have just done it wrong for the other for the link part. I'm not sure. Also, yeah, you can't have a bold italic in that sequence. What I understand, it's got to be the bold first, then the italic mark. I'm pretty sure to make bold italic. Okay, bold first, then italic. I can try it. Let me see. Let's see. I'll try it myself. Bold underscore bold italic. And then you have to do the reverse underscore bold. Let's see. Okay, so soon that'll come through. And it does, yes. So that's the sequence to get bold italic. Okay? Start with the asterisk followed by the underscore. And that's how it works. Okay, so we got the Plus editor thing going on. And oh, okay, let's go ahead and see if we can make Audacity work in this crazy thing. It just might work. All right, so let's see. Push pause. See, we want Windows, direct sound probably. Line in, yes. Speakers out, yes. Let's try this. Doink. I'm getting signal. Okay. All right, so I have set up Audacity. I'm just going to record a test recording now to see if you can hear the playback. Okay, so I'm going to take it off of pause and go. Hello, this is a test recording. If this were a real recording, you would be home by now. And let's see. Let's play it back. Oh. Nope, can't open the device. So it's because it's, let's go to, it's probably a voice meter that I'm using. That's right. Voice meter input. Let's try this. Hello, this is a test recording. If this were a real recording, you would be home by now. All right. I had it turned down because before we were doing the sound effects. So let's play it again. Hello, this is a test recording. If this were a real recording, you would be home by now. All right, great. So now as you see, Audacity is kind of easy. Undo the record. You set up whether your direct sound, MME, Wasapi, pretty much any of these will work. MME will work on any machine, any computer. Direct sound is your more typical Windows. Windows Wasapi is sometimes dangerous to use if you're using your audio for other things too, because sometimes it can want exclusive use of the microphone. Okay, I just picked my microphone. Since I'm getting the mic coming in from that output, I had to use that. I could actually probably use voice meter too, since I do have output going through the B1. But we're just keeping it simple. I tested it. It worked. I really don't need stereo. I'll switch to mono, and then I got in my case, voice meter for my speakers. You set it to whatever your speakers have got to be, and it shows the whole list of different speaker types of outputs that you got available. All right, so the piece of music we're going to try is actually listed in here. Let's see. There's Audio Magic. There it is. And I've got this piece. And I'm going to do What is the Matter? Okay, is the name. That's the piece we're going to actually do. So let's go ahead and open this. Get this thing kind of moved over to the side, so I can see Audacity too. And you see the full screen. And okay, so these are my words. What I did is I just took some lyrics. Me and a friend of mine, Paul Hines, we used to jam back in the day, back in Cambridge, Massachusetts, way back in the 70s. And I found this song list that we had jammed, and when we went through the tape, and we marked the tape, little numbers on our tape recorder, and gave each one of the segments a name. So these were the names of the. We had flute funk, jungle thing, ending, arpeggio flutters, drum solos, the riser, roll into endings, drum solo, jungle thing 2, Spanish ruins, guitar rocks. Okay. So I'm converting that to a lyric that you are now going to hear me attempt to sing. And so, and the thing is that we're going to create harmonies around this, okay? So let me see if I can get this note to show up over here. Yes, there it is, because I didn't want it to be disappearing on me. All right, well, that's not as functional. I'll just hover over it. All right, so I'm going to start the recording, and you're going to hear me singing, okay? I know you don't want to see my video for this. Yeah, that would be very upsetting at this point. Okay. Oh, okay, let's see. I'll go ahead and let you see me doing this thing. 1 second. There we are. Okay. All right, so let's try this recording. I'm going to hit record. Okay, ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the matter with the flute funk jungle thing ending? Oh, sorry, I forgot the lyrics. Start over. Stop. Undo. Okay, let's record. I forgot the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the matter with the flute funk jungle thing ending? Arpeggio flutters, drum solos the riser, roll into endings with a drum solo and jungle thing too. Spanish ruins, guitar rocks, and all that too. There we go. Let's see if it worked. I forgot the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the matter with the flute funk jungle thing ending? Arpeggio flutters, drum solos the riser, roll into endings with a drum solo and jungle thing too. Spanish ruins, guitar rocks, and all that too. All right, so we know that worked. Well, this is incredibly boring. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a new track. I'm going to add an audio track. And it's armed and ready to go. I back this up. And the whole point of this now, I hope this is going to work, is I want to hear this track while I'm recording that track. Okay? So I don't know if it's going to work. Let me see. Make sure it's hello. 1, 2, 3. Make sure it's not going out to B. Yeah, A, and, well, we'll soon find out. Okay, so let's see, we'll try it. It might get feedback. I might have a loop going on. We'll find out. Okay, here we go. Rewind. Oops. What happened? Audio track, mono. I forgot the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What is the matter with the flute funk jungle thing ending? Arpeggio flutters, drum solos the riser, roll into endings with a drum solo and jungle thing too. Spanish ruins, guitar rocks, and all that too.
Get rid of this track. It created a new track automatically somehow. All right, I don't think this sounded good, but we're going to try it. I forgot the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What is the matter with the flute?
Oh, delay. All right. Well, that's always a problem, isn't it, folks? Is delays, yes. So let's just line those up, sort of. All right, let's see if that works. And I probably can mute this one because I think I'm doing sound on top of sound. I forgot the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What is the matter with the flute funk jungle thing ending? Arpeggio flutters, drum solos the riser, roll into endings with a drum solo and jungle thing too. Spanish ruins, guitar rocks, and all that too.
All right, well, that's terrible. Quick, undo the recording. All right, you get the idea. Undo time shift, undo track remove, and undo record. There we go. So that was absolutely awful, but I have no idea why it was so awful. It shouldn't have been so awful. It must be something I had set up here. So let's go ahead and see if we can add new, mix and render, mix and resample, remove tracks, line tracks, sync lock. That sounds good. Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm going to give it one more try and see if we can't get this to record. So it's I probably was feeding one signal into the next. So let me go ahead and turn this off here. Where is it? Speakers. Yes, turn off the one. Okay. No. Okay, well, I'll have to experiment. I thought I had this thing down. I apparently didn't. All right, well, anyway, you get the idea. This is what you're going to get next week. Next week's show is that song in its entirety done, where I figured out how to make it not add tracks automatically. I'm on a different computer than I had it done before, and I must have had the preferences set up before, because I had it. Audacity's been on that machine for about 100 years. All righty. Don't save changes, but you got a preview of the horrible disasters that we're capable of for next week. All right, so there you go. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All righty, so let's bring this back over here. And so we're going to have the actual thing working. I know maybe I'll do it later when there's only a couple of people left around that don't mind hanging around watching me experiment with it. But we're going to get 4-part harmony out of this thing one way or the other. All right, so there you go. Okay, now what was the other thing I wanted to talk about today? Oh yes, a Pixlr demonstration. One more. Yes, I did. I wanted to show how to do a gradient mask. And that is just such a cool thing, let me tell you. This is what we're going to do, this text fading in dealy right here. I'm going to show how I actually did that, okay? And I also wanted to show see how we have this thing where I'm inside of this little box right here, and I have my empty window over there. And I'm going to show actually right now how I make these things, okay? How I make it so that this is in here, and my webcam's over here, and I'm able to like talk to that. I wish that we got somebody to want to come on the show, and maybe we still will in a little while, but we also have a setup where we can easily show a person who's talking from an HVC, person who, in a conversation can be in this window right over here as well. Okay, and oh, I just heard some kind of a signal. What was that signal? Heard a signal. Well, let's see. Where's my someone trying to get? Oh, Eileen Smith says. What's Eileen saying? I love the experiment. Oh. Yes, mere incompetence. Oh, spell incompetence right at least. So we just got a text from Eileen saying that she's here. So, yeah, I should probably trick her into being part of the show by suddenly calling her since she messaged me. But anyway, I can message anybody that wants to be on the show, and I just hit the little message thing and do a conversation, and bingo, we'll be doing it. So, if you want to be on the show, that'd be fine with me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the YouTube Live Effect masks. Oh, that's right. We already found out Pixlr's having problems today. So let me open up Firefox. There we are. And I'm going to close out this one here. And in fact, I'm going to open up. I want to show you on Pixlr at pixlrtemplates.com. There we go. Okay, so you have my Pixlr templates thing, and you got the new table of contents. If you click on the YouTube live events thing here, it takes you right to this page. So now I've got them, all the pages are indexed, so they jump right to the section. And my monitor is actually, that we're using is a 1080p monitor, so we're going to go ahead and show that version, okay? So you click on that, and it opens up in Firefox, and because I'm logged in, I can change the view. So let me first make this full screen, because you don't necessarily have to see me for this part. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to View, Full Screen Mode, and then View again, just to get the, well, I don't have to move these, but if I went to this one right here, Reset Palettes Location, see, all it does is push them over to the right, since we had that ad there before. All right, so here we have this funny thing with a white semi-rectangle, a rhomboid looking thing, and this is the basis for your little for your for this thing you're looking at, this thing, okay? So and the way it works is kind of cool. You're going to use this just to be able to chop a hole in another image. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use what I showed you before with the open image URL, this time from a library. And because I think I saved something down here I can use. Gee, I thought I did. Looks like I didn't. Oh yeah, let's try this one. Oh, this is the text fading into oblivion one. Okay, forget it. This is actually a multi-layer thing. Let me find another image to open up from my layer. Open image as layer. And so where did I get this thing? Oh, I got it from, I forgot that I have a lot more in that library. So I can go back to my image library. It's not just the Pixlr library where I have these folders. I also got Flickr, Facebook, and Picasa photos that I can pick from. Okay, so so you have all kinds of images that you can pick from, and so let's see, what do I got in here? Certificate of the right to play, Twitter. I'm looking for something that's big. Scrapbook photos, that looks good. Oh yeah, there's a nice big picture. Oh, that's a pretty one. Alright, so let's say we're going to use this. Of course, actually this would be better. because our little window is going to be right over where the sun is. In fact, actually, this would be nice if it's big enough. Oh yeah, and look, it's huge. It's 36 by 248. Oh, this is huge. So this is going to open up. And it pays in nice of them is that they don't make it overwhelm the screen anymore. It used to completely overwhelm the screen. So go back to full screen mode. Now it's on its own layer. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to Edit and Free Transform. And I'm going to grab the corners and just stretch it till it fills out by holding the Shift key down. Actually, even that's not it. Even that's not it working today. All right, so let's get this. So we fill up the screen. Blink, and hit Enter, and we'll let this be the piece that's in there. Apply the changes. Yes. Okay, so now we have this image here. Okay, and we have this thing here. So what we want to do is we want to cut a hole in this image so we can see through it. All right, so that's what we're going to do, except we're not going to actually physically cut a hole. We're going to use what's called a mask. So I want to select the layer 0. So as if you didn't have this, we're going to have this selected, and we're going to use our little magic wand tool right here, little magic wand, and just click inside the checkerboard area so that all this is selected. Then we pick our layer and we push the second little button from the left, add layer mask, and it's now added a layer mask to the thing. So you see how you see through it now? It's transparent. So if I added, so now anything I put this over, I can have my webcam as a top layer over here on the left, and it's going to see through this because it's transparent right here. So this is where I'll actually have my stuff that I bring in and share as part of the show. It's okay just by itself like that, but I like to go down here and click the little page icon and add another one. And by the way, you can get rid of this layer now because you're done using it. You were only using that first initial thing to create the selection so that you would have a selection that you could then create this mask out of. All right, so now I created a new layer. I'm going to get out my brush, and I'm going to pick a nice color, full strength, say blue or so. It really doesn't matter. I'll show you why. Pick blue, go up here, get a brush. I'll use a 70 pixel fuzzy brush. All right, and click off into here to get rid of it. So now I'm going to click here on the edge and make a dot. Actually, I made 2 dots. Just undo. Let's go back and do that again. So I'm going to click, and then hope my Shift key is working on this. It doesn't seem to be working. Oh, normally when I hold Shift, it draws a perfect line. Today, all of a sudden, my Shift key is not working. I noticed that when I was resizing the image. Maybe I have caps lock on or something. Nope. Okay, so I'm having to actually draw the frame. But on yours, you will not have to draw the frame. Believe me, your Shift key will work. My Shift key just suddenly stopped working. But of course, so did Chrome with Pixlr suddenly stop working. So I drew this amazingly funky looking frame. There we go. And so say I had this frame and I didn't like the color blue. I decided, I ruined it, but I don't have to draw it again because this is such a pain drawing it again. So I go into adjustment, and there's 2 ways I can change it. I can go to color balance, and there's no red in this, but I can change the green offset. I can change the bluish offset. There's no red content in this particular color. There might be actually some. No, there isn't. But this is just cyan that I started with, and so I can change it using this and do subtle changes to the type of color it is. Okay. Also, now mind you, see I have the layer selected. The other way I could do this is just to do more of a total change, get out the hue saturation control and change the hue by changing that. So you see I'm able to change the color of my frame to anything I want, and I can up the saturation and make it crazy, brilliant neon, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, So that's how that is done. And then you wind up with a basically a window that you can put anything behind, and you just resize it so that it fits. And so that's basically what I've done. And you have this. I have this picture of a. It's really, as you can see, it's a wood. It's a little brook with a. It's a what do they call it? Covered bridge behind, and I put the camera on top, and I put this content behind that you're looking at now. So I can move it around. I can position it behind that window. And so that's how that's done. Is that neat? Okay, so that's that bit of Pixlr. I don't want to overwhelm people with too much Pixlr stuff, though. I know how it gets. I will say one last thing, though. There is a way to, open an image from a library, go to my Pixlr library, and I think this one right here is a PXD. Yes, this is already layered, so rather than make you guys watch me do the whole thing, I'll just kind of disable the layers. So starting out with a layer on the bottom, it's just a white layer, okay? I've got some text that's on the second layer that's just plain old text. The magic comes in where I've got this layer on the top that's got a gradient in it, and as a layer mask gradient. And that's pretty amazing that it's even possible. So I'll go ahead and we'll make another one. I'll add a layer to the top of this and we'll do it to that. So I just turned off this layer up top that we were using. And I got this blank layer. I got to give it a color, so I'll fill it in with a color, and this time I'll just change the color to red, so it's obvious I did a different one. And I take out the paint bucket tool and fill it up so that this whole layer is filled with red. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and make a layer mask by selecting all. So I'm going to pick this little gray little rectangle thing here and say Control A for select all, and or I can go up to Edit and say select all right there. And you see it creates little lines. Oh, you're not seeing it. I'll pull this down. Okay. So in fact, let me go ahead and shrink this down. There we go. Sorry about that. I'm so focused on this thing. All right, so here's the gradient thing that you pick, and that's what makes that happen. Okay, so let's just start over again since I just confused everybody. So let's go ahead, open the image, turn off that layer. I made a new layer using this little teeny weeny control right there. Okay, and I pulled out the paint bucket tool, and which is this one right here, looks like a paint bucket. I painted red in here by selecting this and making this color red. And remember, you always have to have this little thing in the right position because this is the amount of saturation, like black, white, or different amounts of saturation for the color. So I got a red, I dumped it in there with the paint bucket. Then I do the second button down here. I'm going to add a layer mask, but you have to have a selection first. So go down here to select all and hit the button. And now you have this this layer here. Okay, but it doesn't have the gradient plugged in yet. So let's go ahead and pick the gradient tool, click on this thing, and make sure it's this one right here, the third one, that fades from black to transparent. And oh, I think I skipped a step. I missed a step. Select all first. Add the layer mask. And that's selected. Well, this worked this morning. I got layer one on. Huh. Okay, folks, it's not working today. Let's try deselect. No. All right, I have no idea why it's not working now. It might be because, well, it might be because my keyboard's not working either. I have no idea. Boy, it worked so great a minute ago. Okay. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Mode's normal. Everything's normal. It should have worked just fine. Should have done just like that. Made a gradient. But it didn't. Well, we'll soon find out why on earth that didn't work. But we'll explain that another time. Sorry, that's two things that didn't work tonight. And I practiced too. Golly, it feels awful. All right, let's get out of here. Nah. Oh, wait. And 11. Now I can't get rid of this thing. All right, there you go. Huh, that's very odd that it didn't work because I literally practiced like an hour before the show started and it worked fine. Oh well, the gradient thing does work, and I will make a short video showing how I did it and put it up into the instructions so that you can catch up and see how that's done. All right, because I know it works. I just did it today. So we did cover YouTube events, masks, and opening an image into a layer. You got to see that a couple of times. And I would say that we're nearing the end of today's session. So how about I just do one more musical interlude, go over my shared posts, and I think I've got everything else covered that I was going to. Anybody have any requests of things that you'd like me to do? I could show you how I set up a live event, since live events is kind of new to a lot of people. I have the live streaming thing going on right here. It shows that this is my control room for when you're doing a YouTube live event. You get all this information and previews and all this kind of stuff. And set up the info and settings, ingestion settings. But again, this is maybe too advanced for this show because it does involve using some kind of a streaming tool like Wirecast, XSplit, OBS, which may be beyond the beyond the scope of what this show was really intended to do. Is because I didn't really want to get people to be talking about using OBS and stuff. Okay, so why don't we just do a music piece? I'm going to go turn on a reverb. I'm going to turn down that reverb I had before. That was so huge. I was losing myself in the mist. So let's go ahead and make it so I can hear a little bit of that and turn it on. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. Taj Mahal. Okay. So let's make it so you can see me. I know you want to see the guy playing the flute. Okay, here we go. And maybe, there we are. Okay, let's see. All right, turn off the reverb now. There we go. Okay. All right. All right, so just for the last portion of the week, let's talk about some the events. I want to show some events. I want to go up here and show some events. Okay, yes, I almost forgot about this. Replay City. Okay. On events, of course, there's my great event that happened today. But and some great events coming up, like the weekly motivation that I'm going to catch, and these blueprints. Chef Dennis is coming up. Most of these are HOAs. And so there you have it. But past events that have been very, very excellent. We had a good open mic show that was a hangout with studio mode. And that was last night. We had yesterday's Cherry Blossoms event from Japan, live from Japan, all the cherry blossoms going on from the Sky Tree, which is this huge, huge building that you can look down and enjoy this amazing panorama from. There was another open mic type of night going on, Thinking Out Loud. It was a very good show. It was connecting to renewed energy. The Cells Live Forever show that I was mentioning, science section, Chef Dennis, Phil Bauer, and Kate did their fantastic program and rule-breaking ideas. That was very good. Mia Connect still really cooking it, doing it from all over the world here, live from Tuscany this time. This was a fascinating interview with I have to go there because I'm forgetting your name. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. Oh heck, wait a minute. This was Stephanie Sims. It was sitting right there. Yeah, Stephanie. So sorry, Stephanie. I'm forgetting your name, just spacing stuff out. And That was a really very deep show. That had some incredible wisdom. Both of these rule breaking ideas shows were deep as all get out. So yeah, this was the show that actually went. I guess is I think they had technical problems like I usually do, and it's going to be a multi-part program, by the way. Um, Thursday Tech Talk restart was just how long did we go? Andrew Hatchett starts this thing up, and we go for like 4.5 hours into the Thursday night talking tech stuff. Five and a half. So anyway, it's been a real good week of fantastic programming. Difference Makers was dynamite. That was really, really good. And sustainability, of course, spinning in genealogy, dreaming with entrepreneurs. David Leopold announced his finally launching the video book on business. So that was a good show. So heck, they're always good shows. But that's the thing. Never just look in the events page. Just go up here to Google Events and look at the events page. But look at those past events for all those cool things you can replay. That's why I call this Replay City, because these are all the really good programs that you can. Most of them have been recorded and you can watch as a replay. Okay, so anyway, that's the Replay City part. And lastly but not leastly, you have just my profile page. If you haven't been there lately, I've been sharing some pretty cool stuff. And I've had The Path of Least Resistance from Robert Fritz. There's the video that he made in March. I didn't discover it till today. I have how to actually get a multicam edit demo working with Lightworks. This fellow, Tom, of Tom's Cooking show, Tom's Test Kitchen, he did a fantastic job making it simple and broke it down using Lightworks, which has been really throwing me. For some reason, I just had a mental block against really connecting with it and getting it to work. And he made it clear as can be. So that's useful. Don't even try to watch that. It's private. You can't watch it. That was when we tested this whole setup, by the way. Of course, SEO Help was finally released. But I pre-ordered it back on February 1st, so it was right there sitting in my Kindle reader in my Android waiting for me. And it's an awesome book, of course. So, hey, look, Michael Daniel says he'll come in. We get to test this equipment after all. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Okay, I am definitely okay. So we're gonna see if this all works, folks. You can go to and sorting out this audio thing. That was a great show. Great show. Michael saying no way. Come on. Okay, I'll call him and see if he'll come in. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. If this works, I'll freak. This would be great. Oh, I hear audio. Say something, Michael. Say something.
I got my Manicam cooking up. Hold on.
It works, folks. It works. At last. All right, let me switch my thing. We got Michael Daniels is in the house. All right, now let's move the camera, the stuff around here. Oh, I actually set up a little. There we go. Just got to get that so it's in front and a little to the left. Yeah. Okay, great, cool. There we are. All right, so as you can see,
does it work?
It's working.
Does it work?
Yeah, can you folks all hear? I hope you're hearing this. You can hear it talking. I think you can because I'm showing meter readings.
I hope so too. I hope not.
Yeah. So. Oh look, Roland Takioka is asking where the influence for that piece came from. What influence? My glasses are on too tight. That's about it. The frames, I need them adjusted. I never wear these glasses normally. I forgot to take them off and switch to these. the clearer ones, so you're seeing all the shadows, under here and stuff. But yeah, that's what it is. There's definitely the frames were too tight. That's why. That's why it is. Now, mind you, you guys, don't be shy. You can all come on in and be in this show too, and you'll be able to see me because I have a second camera that's going out to Michael. He can see me. He sees my whole room, in fact, because you're using a Microsoft Life Cam and it can't zoom. It doesn't have zoom on it. So, but yeah, we can hear each other and talk to each other and get into the thing. So who else wants to come on? Come on. We're watching the comment stream. Come on. Yeah. I know, Sheila. I know you can see and hear both. So you coming in? Come on, huh? Let's go. Russ, huh? Come on. I'm only going to be on another 25 minutes. Somebody did something. I saw a who's Mowassets? A beep, a bleep. Okay, good. Vivek says you can see him and hear him too. So did you catch much of this show?
I did actually. Yes, I was watching, and also doing a baseball draft. It's fantasy baseball draft day at my house. So.
Oh yeah. Huh.
So I'm doing a little bit of both. So.
Oops. Didn't mean for that to happen. 1 sec. Trying to shrink this screen down so it's not invading in there. There we go. Okay, cool. Baseball, huh? In the house during a. Now, mind you, I should have them on the second monitor over here, so I'm always looking like I'm looking at him. Or I could do this. I could do this. Oh, really? But now, of course, I'm not seeing you. And I'll see because you're actually over here. He's actually over there, but I'm looking like professional here talking to Michael. Oh, so how are ice cream cones in the Arctic? Yeah. So.
Oh, I need to turn the other way. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, they're good. Oh, what do you know? I was thinking of trying them up there, but looked like there was so much snow and snow cones, corner of the market. They don't even bother with ice cream up there because the snow cone market is totally nailed it up there in the Arctic. So, yeah, I was speaking with some people from up there. They said, ice cream. Who makes that stuff? They can't compete because there's no overhead.
That's true. When they say on the rocks, they mean really on the rocks, not really ice.
Yeah. So, well, I heard that snow cone, you can get snow so cheap up there. It's unbelievable. It's almost like being in Connecticut or Boston or something. But, yeah, they sure are getting snow. Did have snow this winter. Hey, I wonder if anybody really likes the idea that spring is coming this year.
Yeah, really, no doubt.
Look at one thing I've been wanting to do, Michael, like crazy, ever since we got this thing working, is that I have the, as you know, I got the echo chamber thing to work. So,
now
I have this thing working. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, hey, what are we doing in here? Hey, get me out of here. Hey, I wonder if your voice is also being channeled to this.
Why does it sound like I'm in a subway bathroom right now? I'm just curious.
I'll be right out. I don't want in the bathroom, I think. You're waiting for me out in the hall. I'll be out in a minute. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, now I feel better.
That was pretty realistic. Yeah, I should be a sound effects expert. Right. Okay. So, I'm sorry, folks. Wouldn't you know that we'd get together and start being silly? Who would have imagined such a thing would happen?
Can't imagine that at all.
Can't imagine it. Wasn't what I expected to do. No. So, there's the comments. There they are. Oh, Sheila, send me an invite. Sheila Strover, no, but Sheila Hensley, yes. Okay, you asked for it. So let's see. Let's get on this. Oh, let's forget. How do I invite? There we are. Okay. Hensley. Anybody else? Who else is coming in? Come on, you guys. Vivek wants to come in. Here we go. All right. Here we are. Which one should I send it? Oh, that one. I'll send it to that one there. Okay. Here we are. Anybody else want to come in? All right.
I don't think anybody else likes us. So.
Come on, Roland. You can come in too. Anybody wants to? Yes, indeed. Hey, man, how are you? There he is. Let me move this thing up a little bit. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, we had this thing all set up before where had the size a little bit different. Oh, I know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I forgot to double click on it like you told me, Michael. Cool, great. That works.
There's a huge delay.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine there's a delay. Well, I mean, there's a huge delay on the original, on the video. Yeah, you're hearing me immediate, right? My lip sync.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
and everything.
my voice back.
Oh, it's coming back at you? Maybe that's because I have something said I shouldn't. Michael, did you hear your voice coming back? Let's see.
Yeah, he's muted. He doesn't seem to be.
I'm not sure. No, I don't know. It should be behaving, but if it's not, it's not. But I don't think an echo's going out to the stream. Or
Okay.
everybody would have been yelling at me when Michael came on. Yeah. So, yeah, but this is the setup where we got this is between two computers. You're actually on the feed computer where I can run any software and do anything I want, and it doesn't mess with the encoder. It doesn't mess with the encoding software because that's running on its own machine with no other software but voice meter running, and that echo, the echo unit, but that's all that's running on that machine. It's 720p. It's not damaging it. If I try to do 1080p, it's really, really out of control. So, I mean, my poor CPU is all the way at the top practically the whole time. So, because we did an experiment the other day with Michael and Andrew helped me. We did a 1080p experiment. Woo! I mean, it worked. It was crystal clear. It worked great. This whole setup with the whole thing going. But it just felt too risky to try to do the variety show with 1080p. I was afraid, especially for musical sections, I didn't want them breaking up, with the audio breaking up and stuff. So, yeah, this is sufficient for this show, I think. Right? What do you think, Sheila? Was it sufficient? Was the resolution sufficient? Could you read stuff?
Yes, everything was just wonderful.
Yeah? Oh, good. So, are you hearing yourself as an echo or just a delay?
I don't know.
You haven't talked enough.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear myself back, and I've got everything turned off.
Oh, no, that's probably me feeding it back to you. Let me see. I thought
A little bit of echo. I hear it too.
Yeah. Let me see why.
I have the right microphone on.
Let's see if there's something. I'm gonna set the default. I'm not sure if that's the way it should be or not. Well, I don't know if I can change it.
Well, it was amazing.
I was actually playing back the live show that I've paused. Is that happening for others?
No, they don't hear the live show playing. No, you would need voice meter to be able to mix your live show in with this show.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, this is cool because it's like the green room without it being shut off, for the last few minutes of the thing. So having watched that whole mess, the audio, the thing I was most concerned about was that the flute reverb and all that would be a clean signal and it would be okay. I was very concerned about whether I'd play badly, of course, but you know, I'm so insecure.
It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I'm going to have keyboards in next week. Next week I'm going to get brave. I have a camera. I've already set up a camera in there. I just didn't feel brave enough to try to incorporate that camera into this show, or let alone the keyboards setup. I want to have a little more preparation of what my sounds are going to be. So I have some sounds already set up where I just got to push next, and have some keyboard setups all ready to go.
Terry, can you see what is actually showing on the event page?
Yes. Let me see. I mean, I
can
can
only see you and Vivek.
I can. Right, you only see me and Vivek on this, but the event page shows just you in the window. And let's see.
Now I can see me.
And it's about a 40-second delay. It's a massive delay. 40-second delay before the stream gets out there. So, isn't that something? So, but
So nice to meet you, Sheila.
And right back at you. This is our first time being on film together.
Yeah, and a live stream, not a HOA. In fact.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, and it's amazing how good the quality. It changes. A lot of things change when you go to the YouTube live events. The quality stays at one setting, 128K, audio, and it doesn't keep varying on you. There's no auto sensing like the HOAs have that they keep changing the quality based on your line. It just either working or it's not, and it seems to be these servers are more dedicated to just doing nothing but processing the audio. That's why the HVC, it's still going to do its little funny things. But I've never seen HVCs. They seem to be very consistent. People always seem to be as clear as can be on those, as opposed to HOAs where they're up and down all over the place. I know it still has the little ramp thing, meaning the just bandwidth usage thing is there, but it doesn't seem to do anything. I've never seen anybody in an HVC change their thing from their quality level. Always stays super high. So, yeah. Oh, and so Sheila was asking, this is an HVC film strip, correct? And I could make it so you can see the film strip if you want. I just have to shrink this window a little bit, and you see. So that's what it really is. And it's so you can set it up so you see everybody in the film strip if you want. Just change the size of the window, and so now you're not seeing that yet, Vivek. You'll see it in the video once in 40 seconds once it gets there. And yes, somebody could phone in as well on an HVC. That is true. If you use Google Voice, can't you just phone? You can call an HVC, can't you? Like if they had my phone.
You can actually use Uber Conference or Uber, whatever that is. Whatever that is.
Yeah, Uber Conference is that one. But Google Voice has been talking about how you can call anybody on a phone now from a Hangout, and I guess they can call you too. Because I have a Google Voice phone number.
Yeah, you can make one phone call, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Like you should have an option there when you look down. You should be able to add telephone or something like that.
Oh, let me
plus
look.
Telephone. You can see it right now.
Yeah, add telephone. So, but I'd have to add them. They couldn't just call.
That is correct. They couldn't. They don't have a number to dial into the Hangout, but you can call them, and then they can come into the conversation.
But
like I can come in with my mobile right now.
If they called my Google phone number, my Google Voice number, it would simply ring in Google Voice. It wouldn't ring in an HVC, but it still would get into
That's
my
correct.
voice meter, same as this.
That's correct.
Uh-huh. So, because these are both coming into the audio from the HVCs going into the regular capture, on the voice meter, the VAIO one. So, yeah, we could definitely include an audio of someone calling in, but yeah, not more than one. However, yeah, using Zoom or any of those other things, people could call in with those, right? Those are multi-conference. Uber Conference, TeamSpeak, I think is another one name that is out there. Any meeting. So you could include those in a show. Can't see why not.
Mm. But for YouTube live events, what are the settings that you use? They give you two options.
Yep.
One is custom and one is Hangout.
I'll show you. I knew it would come to this, folks. I knew it would come to this. So, okay. The thing is, I'll have to share my screen for you so that you can see it.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
There we go. So YouTube, Google Chrome, and don't worry, the rest of the world will see this too. And so you should see the screen now. I'm moving it around. I hope I didn't just move it out of range. So yeah, it's as you see, stream status good. Stop streaming button that will end the show, and you have info and settings just like in a normal one. And I can do this stuff without breaking it. You have quick, that's your Google Hangout on Air, but we're in custom, where you have more encoding options. You simply do the whole thing with the description, the times, as all of the different, see, blue as a color is obviously a tag for me. And it's public. So that part's easy. And you set it with you set your time zone. You're setting up your times too.
Yeah.
There's typical advanced settings. Live chat exists. It's nobody actually used it much. Mark Barris discovered it and wrote a couple of things in it. But live chat, you can enable it, and it shows up for people that had to watch using YouTube. Okay, then they can chat. But you need another computer sitting around, or be burning a whole bunch of windows open all over your screen to be seeing that live chat too. I always create Creative Commons as my attribution, but you can go that way. People can chop up the video and make their own edits. But there's standard YouTube license too. Your syndications and all that stuff have been how to install is my usual. I was going to go entertainment, but I decided to go how to install since I have so many little mini tutorials. And you can decide to monetize it or not with ads. And you can change these settings anytime. Then once you get all that stuff, you go to ingestion settings, and you change the. I created what you call a custom ingestion, where you can't change it now, but when you drop down, it says create a new custom, and that allows you to use the same stream key over and over. This stream name, it goes into the key, into the YouTube thing. So from OBS, you drop down the little encoder window and select YouTube primary server, and then you paste this into the window that they call it a key. The stream name is what they're asking for, because when you drop it down, they already select one of these two servers, the backup of the primary. You can select that from the drop down, and you paste this into the thing, and then you start up the encoder and switch over to this control room thing after that, the live control room. And you can't put cards in. I haven't messed with that yet, but you can have cards in a show. So when you start your encoder and you come to the live control room, it'll tell you if the stream status is good, meaning it sees your encoder already that it's sending signal before you even start the stream. Then you can hit the preview button. It'll ask you sure you want to, and you say yes, and then you can go down and look at the preview window, which doesn't show right now because I'm actually doing it, so it just shows the public view window. But above the public view is a preview window that you can start to be previewing the thing. And one thing that's kind of cool is it's recording the whole time that the stream's running. So you can look at the preview window and have it running, and if you actually start talking about stuff that's interesting or something, and you during the preview before you told it to go, you can tell it to start streaming to sync to preview player. So you set the preview player to that time in the past, and start it with the sync to preview player turned on, and it'll start in the past as far as when the stream goes. So you can have this huge, humongous half-hour delay if you want. 40 seconds is long enough for me. but you can, if you want, you can just have all kinds of time. And I suppose if you were afraid you might have, if you're bringing in the public and you were afraid you might have some programming, some people that might abuse the space, that would give you all kinds of time to perhaps to pause the thing and cut them out or something. I don't know. I haven't done that, but I would imagine it's one of the things you could do. They have broadcast alerts, lets you put into the broadcast that that when people go in, that they'd read these things when they go in, like if you canceled. You can put in slates, which I haven't used any of the stuff, but you can do fancier stuff that broadcasters might be more interested in. But and you get analytics as part of the whole package, so it tells you how it went.
Yeah.
And so I think it gives engagement figures too, and all that stuff that YouTube's so good at. And right up here, if you need to after you've created the show, you're in ingestion settings and you've got all your things set up. Actually, even back here at info and settings, the minute you create the thing, this view on watch page thing shows up. You just right click on that and bring it over here. You right click on it and say copy link address, and that's your YouTube link that you can paste into your event page. But then there's the event page part. That's where you just go to regular old Google and you paste in you paste in the
old
create an
traditional
event.
method.
Yeah, you go in here, so I'll go ahead to events, and so you not plan a hangout, you create an event. Okay? And that's where let me make this window a little bit bigger. Under event options, you select advanced, show more options. Okay? Now you get all these things, and here's where you paste that YouTube URL for your show that you copied from that link. You copied from this. So that's where you paste the YouTube URL. So that's what people are watching. They're watching the YouTube URL that got pasted in there. And you can put your website. You don't have to be. This does not have to be a ticket seller URL. That does not have to be a transit and parking information. That can be anything you want to paste in there. Okay. The only thing that has to be YouTube URL is the YouTube URL field, and you write up all your details, location if you want to, and you can put in a beginning time, and you can add an end time optionally. Like this thing's going to end in about 3 minutes. I think it will end automatically, or try. No, it'll keep going actually, but maybe it does stop. I don't remember. If you don't add an end time, which I did do in this case, but if you don't add an end time to the video information page in here, then it keeps going forever. But it only records 8 hours. But see, I put an end time in here. If I didn't put one in, it'll go 24/7, never end, and but it only records 8 hours. Okay, after 8 hours, it just stops recording. But that's how you do it. It takes about 15 minutes, and you just make it public as far as the two. You select public. And post it on your page, and then if you need comment tracker.
What actually throws me off is the custom setting. encoding options and so on. That's
You mean
confusing a bit.
no? What throws you is the ingestion settings. You mean
Yeah.
which custom settings for creating an event, or in the YouTube?
No, for encoding.
Oh yeah, the encoding settings. It's not bad. It's not bad. You just need a copy. Really, the only complicated part. And Michael's getting feedback in the HVC. Wonder why. Like echo feedback, Michael?
Yeah, like like everybody's double. It is for me. I don't know if it is for everyone else, but it is for me for sure.
Let's see. If I do that, then it doesn't go out to the. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Did you hear me when I just did that?
No, she said no echo on the outside. So it's not on the outside. It's just for us in here.
Are you hearing echo, Vivek?
Yeah, I do. Hmm.
Wonder which one it is.
And so do I.
Here, I'm going to try
It's
turning
just,
this thing off.
it's a true echo too. I mean, it's like once and all of a sudden it comes again.
Let me try this. Okay, can you hear me? You shouldn't be able to hear me. Couldn't hear me, could you? Huh? No.
Okay, now we can't
Okay.
hear you. Okay, now I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Right. You couldn't hear me then. Because this is the signal that's coming from the other device. No, this is the line in. You should have been able to hear me. 1 second. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can.
All right. Now you
We
say
have an
something.
echo now.
You say something and see if you get the echo. I'm turning off A1.
The 40-second delay.
I know it's B1. I shouldn't have had B1
Yep.
on. Okay, try it
I
now.
fixed it.
I fixed it.
Nope, didn't for me.
It
No,
did?
I still have an echo. I still hear the echo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's. I do need B1. I need B1 to go to the StarTech for them to hear me. Oh well, we'll iron that out. We'll figure that out over the next couple of days.
It might have to be in the a setting in the HPC.
Might be. It
Like
might be that it
pulling-
shouldn't be set to voice
a
meter.
voice-
Mm-hmm.
Pulling from a specific thing in voice meter or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Instead of from voice meter, I should have the microphone be or
Sure.
the input. Oh, maybe the input should just be. Let's try this. There. Okay. All right. See if you get echo now. You hear me though. You hear me?
Yeah.
I didn't hear an echo on Vivek Zan. But you hear an echo on me.
Okay. All right.
Good.
That's not the setting then. Let's try this. I'll switch it around. Put this back.
Russ is confirming no echo outside either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was something to do with the. I'll try that. Okay, see if that's now working. Anything?
Okay, see if
Yeah, sounds worse.
still there.
All right, so it wasn't those. So it's not in this setting in here. We'll figure around with it during the week and figure out how that's got to be. So, all right. Anyway, it's 8:32. In a few minutes, my Mr. Selfridge show is coming on. I've got to watch Mr. Selfridge.
Well, you have to fix the echo because I have to tell Vivek something and I can't possibly with the echo.
Let me try. Wait a second. I got one more thing. Try now.
Strover says, time to sleep. Lovely to see you.
I don't know. I'm not sure why you're getting echo. It doesn't. Say something again.
Okay. It's yeah,
Oh!
coming back at me.
Let me try turning this off.
I think this is necessary for you to hear me. Yeah, I need that for you to hear me. That's nothing to do with you. All right, let's see. A1? Okay, try now.
And Vivek, the reason it's important for me to tell you is because this is the first time we've been on together. Our first, and I hear no echo. So I'm going to go ahead and tell Vivek. I was speaking to a prospective student. He was in Wisconsin. He had moved to Wisconsin from New Jersey, and he was very specific, asking me questions. He was right on target. I answered all of his questions. He was very pleased with our conversation. He thanked me very much, and I said, may I take a stab at your accent, because I think I know where you're from. And he said, yes, you can try, but you'll never get it. And I said, okay, India. And he said, how did you know? I said, my good friend Vivek, I have listened to him talk enough. I picked up enough in what you were saying that I could get. And it was just, he has been out of India for a long time, lived in New Jersey, then went to Wisconsin, and is now thinking about moving to my area. So I used your name and I brought you up, and now here we are on our first HOA. So this is fabulous. It's a big day for me. Thank you. This has just been in the last week that I talked to this gentleman, and he was very, very impressed with me. And I said, I have to thank my friend Vivek for that. And I said, oh, don't even go there with me. I can't pronounce it, but I call him Vivek, and he's a very, very nice man, and I've learned a lot from him. So someone was impressed with me because I knew you, so thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you for fixing the echo there,
Yeah,
Mr. Genius.
I think I found out where it was. Yeah, I better save these settings now. Actually, I might have changed something.
Be sure to write it down. What was it? Be sure to write it down for sure.
Yes, I will.
Michael wants you to do it now.
I'm going to go ahead and say
Well, at least say it in the video. Say it in the video so that way you can always come back to it if you have to.
I'm also saving it right on my desktop as best settings.
He is not going to say it into the video, Michael.
Here we go.
He is not
Here we
going to
go.
do it.
I saved it.
Okay.
I'm going to do it here
I'm
too.
fine with that.
Save
Okay, you
settings.
have to go someplace else, Terry. Did you say that? You have to go to another.
Oh yeah, we have the Mr. Selfridge is this amazing show on PBS that I really love.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me in. It was yet another amazing Sunday show. I don't know why it's amazing, except I learned things, and watching you play the flute is just... What did Debbie say the other night, Michael, that I was going to get a reputation because I was talking about Terry and his brilliance and his genius?
That's right.
And I immediately denied it, said, I've got a reputation. Michael already given me a reputation. I don't want to lose it. So I said, I have no idea what she was talking about. But, Terry, I continue to be amazed at some of the things you know. Same way with Sir Michael. Probably if I talked to Vivek long enough, it'd be the same way. But you guys are amazing. I learned a lot. Thank you for just letting me hang around.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're the type of people that we almost know more stuff than we've forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to call it a night. This is a great thing. I mean, we went from 5 o'clock to 8:37, and of course, an hour of that was streaming that music program. But I'm going to have more live music and do the music interlude as part of the, it'll be a live music interlude instead of a recorded one like it's been. So, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would. Yeah, I don't think I would be able to join you next week because this week my family is away, and it's actually 1:30.
Oh,
past
wow.
midnight.
Well, that's why I'm starting at 5, is so that people can watch. What time is it at 5 for you?
No, don't worry. I mean,
Okay. Well, I want more of my European friends to be able to show up, so that's why I started at 5 for now. But I know, it's late for you. It's late for Sheila. Sheila Strover. But thanks a lot for coming on. I'm so glad. It's so psyched. I want to get as many people able to watch as I can.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. And
Thank
it was
you,
another
Terry. I'm outta
great Blue
here.
Juice Jubilee show. Yeah, I'm just
That's
going
right.
to push the magic stop streaming button. We don't actually have to disappear or anything. But I have to find out where on earth I put it. Oh, there it is. I was demoing it. That's right. Live control room, please. All right. You all get to see me. Watch me stop the stream. All right. Good night. Thanks a million for showing up, everybody, and for watching if you're watching the replay. Bye-bye.
Bye.